Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to be in Korea, and I'm appreciative of being here right now and able to address you at this conference. I thought that I would tell you a little bit about where I work and where Stephanie Norby works before I actually begin a very practical presentation that might give you some skills. But before that, I'm going to show you a brief film about where I work so that we get to know each other better. Go ahead.
The Smithsonian Institution is the largest museum complex and research institution in the world, and it all started with nearly 105,000 small coins, like this one. A British scientist, James Smithson, who had never before set foot in the United States, left his entire fortune to this country to establish an institution dedicated to the increase and diffusion of knowledge.
In 1962, I was fortunate to be the pilot of Friendship 7 behind me here. We made the first American orbit of the Earth, around the Earth in about an hour and 29 minutes.
Roger, keep is go and I am go. Our capsule is in good shape.
I remember very vividly when the capsule turned around, I could look back and see the whole state of Florida. And on across the Atlantic, you hit the coast of Africa in about 16 minutes. And then across Africa and back into night again, and out over the Indian Ocean where there were a lot of thunderstorms below. And they looked like a strobe light with cotton surrounding it, and they'd flash, and it was a beautiful sight. Then back through another sunrise, a very vivid sunrise in bright, luminous color. And then to San Diego, and from San Diego to Savannah in about 7 minutes. And that completed the first orbit of the Earth. It's hard to describe how awesome this is when you look down from up above. And it was just a wonderful experience.
The giant panda behind me is Tian Tian. He was born in China in 1997, and he came to the National Zoo in 2000. Giant pandas are an endangered species, and the National Zoo is helping to create a successful breeding population of giant pandas all over the world. The National Zoo is a leader in reproductive sciences and conservation research. We've been very successful at breeding many different endangered species like cheetahs and elephants and clouded leopards. The Smithsonian is one of the world's leading research institutions with centers all over the world that study the oceans and the stars and many different habitats in between.
I remember sitting at home, watching the events of September 11th on television. It was shocking and scary, and it forced me to think about things that I had never thought about before, like freedom and what that actually means to me. Now, standing here in front of the World Trade Center flag is like reliving those moments all over again. And it makes me realize what so many people have sacrificed. The Smithsonian is filled with so many amazing things. For example, the Woolworth's lunch counters where a group of students my age actually sat to protest segregation back in the 60s. If it wasn't for them, I kind of wonder what my life would be like right now. Seeing these things definitely reminds me of how far we've come as a country. And this is an experience that I would never forget.
For over 160 years, the Smithsonian Institution has been a leader in preserving our history and our culture, with 19 museums, 9 science research centers, traveling exhibits, the Smithsonian Folklife Festival, and the National Zoo. It's all